the frailties, the fragility, the lack of mental and physical toughness of this team, it was right there for us to see in full display. And I mean full display.
Normally, I hate everything that comes out of Ale Moreno's mouth, but he is right here. He has a good point. The team is a mess, and so let's address some of the biggest issues facing this side right now. Vitor Roque is a very divisive topic among Barcelona fans, and I understand it. I get it. He was a big signing with big expectations, and he's come and done very little. So a lot of people are mad at Xavi, they're mad at the board, they're mad at Roque for all of this. It's a big mess. To begin with, it seemed like Xavi didn't even want him, but Deco and Laporta forced it for some reason. They didn't listen to Xavi, as we've seen happen before. It happened with Joao Felix earlier this season, and now it happened to Roque, and he is suffering from it. He came in a few times, scored a couple decent goals, and created a lot of mess, but he has no trust in the squad by the coach, and so we're not seeing him perform, we're not seeing him show up. And now that Ferran Torres is back, we're seeing Xavi choose him ahead of Roque. That's upsetting not only Roque, his agent, and his wife, because his wife has been live tweeting stuff during matches that is likely about FC Barcelona. But whatever people are talking about, the thing that matters is that Roque seems upset, and I understand it. I think a lot of it has to do with what the club was promising him when he was coming. He likely had this idea of competing for that first team spot, the position that Lewandowski has been occupying for the past 2 years. And with Lewandowski not playing so well in the first half of the season, he probably thought he was going to get a really good amount of minutes, but it's just a fact, and it's unfortunate for him. Lewandowski started picking it up, and Xavi just doesn't love the profile of Roque for that central striker position. So it's overall just a disaster with Roque, and I think the right solution is to loan him out. Xavi is going to be the coach next season, apparently. If he's not, the story changes, but if Xavi's the coach next season, there's not going to be a spot for Roque unless he completely changes his performances this summer, and that's entirely possible. This kid has talent, and whatever happens is going to be okay. If he goes on loan, I think that'll be great for him. He can get minutes in the position, in the setup that he wants, because he will have a pick of the litter. So many people are interested in him. It will be good for him, and it will be good for Barcelona, because the kid is 19. We have him locked up for quite a while. Let him improve somewhere else and then fit into this side when we have a better idea of who we are. Because the fact is, no one at this club does. Xavi just is not the greatest coach. He has good tactics, and he can be a pretty decent man manager, though he is kind of a little bit too friendly with these guys, it seems like. But his tactics and everything just don't necessarily work all the time when the profiles don't fit that way of playing. But also, Xavi has never responded well to tactical changes by his opponents, or even making substitutions at the right moments. I've just seen this happen over and over again throughout the season. When Xavi has been playing well, when the squad has been working together well in the first half, they kind of lose everything in the second half when a good manager with good tactics makes a change. We saw something similar to that when they played against Girona this season. We saw it against Madrid earlier this year as well. And so Xavi definitely has his drawbacks as a manager, and that's probably the biggest one out of all of them. But more importantly, this board doesn't really work with him. They aren't connected together, working as a solid unit. Laporta's over here, Deco's over here, and Xavi's down here, all making different decisions, and it's just a disaster. It's a disaster, and when the higher-ups at your club are making decisions like that and not combining well, making smart choices, and showing a unified front, it just makes the entire team, it trickles down, and it creates this entire mess, because the mentality of the squad is a mess, and I think a lot of it has to do with the higher-ups and Xavi not necessarily communicating well at all. Look, I know Barcelona fell out of the Champions League too, but there is still an exciting Champions League final to look forward to, and if you want to watch it for free, you got to check out today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Every time I live stream a match, someone comes into chat asking me how can they watch this game. Obviously, they didn't know that there are several countries in Europe that offer matches on TV for free. Normally, being from New York, I wouldn't be able to access them, but with a VPN, I can. With Surfshark, I can quickly and easily connect to a server in Ireland that allows me to watch the Champions League match that they're live streaming completely for free. But that's just the tip of the iceberg of what you can do with Surfshark. They help encrypt your online data to protect all your passwords, photos, and videos, but more importantly though, you can download Surfshark on as many devices as you want. So for just $2.49 per month, your mom, dad, cousin Leo, and anybody else you know can watch the Champions League matches for free as well. Plus, if you use my link in the description, you get an extra 3 months completely for free, and that on top of their 30-day money-back guarantee that'll give you a full refund if it doesn't meet your expectations. Well, I don't see a reason not to check out Surfshark. So thank you again, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring this video. And let's get back to talking about Barcelona. Laporta is just such a politician, and sometimes that works. Sometimes he has great connections that can help bring in some money, but other times it's him trying to do a favor for Jorge Mendes by bringing in Joao Felix into a side where the coach doesn't necessarily want him. I think Joao Felix isn't the best example because he did turn out okay this season, had a pretty average season for, his past, but the fact is that they don't work well together, and Laporta is just I'm continuously confused if he is actually the man for this job, because the fact is he over and over again is trying to put on this bravado that this side has money and can make big signings, because I think he's so worried about the public image of the side, especially with Madrid signing Kylian Mbappe this season, that he's trying to make promises that there is no way he can keep. This side cannot afford Kvaratskhelia unless they sell Lamine Yamal or something huge, and that's probably going to happen this summer. Not with Lamine Yamal, I don't think he's going anywhere, nor with Kubarsi, but big sales are going to be made this summer because Laporta needs to find someone to wear that number 10. And look, I understand it too, because the commercial and merchandising side of this business is huge, right? People are going to go to matches if there are players they're excited to watch. It's just infuriating that we don't have a rock, to look to, to trust. Hey, Papa Perez is going to figure it out. There isn't one. I don't know. It's very upsetting to me. And even in the squad too, they reflect that as well. It's very chaotic right now, especially with Araujo. I love him. I've made videos praising him in the past. I think he is a great defender, but recently he's been making a lot of really bad decisions. Now, he has never been known for the smartest plays. He's always had to compensate for his decision-making with a certain athletic ability that allows him to make last-second tackles that he might not necessarily have to make if he were in a better position, or maybe have not given the ball away or something like that. He always does that, but right now, those last-second tackles are not at all going his way, like leading to the red card against Barcola in the PSG match, and also just not performing well in the past 2 games since then as well. He's just not there right now in the way he is at times. It's concerning because he has all the capacity to be a good defender, but a great defender, in my opinion, would own up to that. Totally accept that as a personal mistake and promise fans that he will be better and his teammates that it's on him and nothing more. But when Gundogan went and responded very reasonably to a presser after the match, after the PSG match, and he rightly criticized or just remarked on Araujo's mistake, Araujo went and made it such a big deal. And he was like, how could Gundogan say these things? It was such not a response I would expect from a captain of my club. We are desperately missing the Puyol leadership that this side could have had and had, and I might have thought we did have with Araujo early this year. I was really happy to see his name on the, wearing the captain's armband. I was excited about that, but now I'm not. I don't think Araujo is that leader right now. And if there's anyone we should be listening to and who knows how to win in this squad, it's Ilkay Gundogan. So I don't understand the criticism, the constant criticism of some of his quotes throughout this year. It's happened since the very beginning when he came out saying that this squad just does not have that winner's mentality. Because he's right, we don't. There is no winner's mentality here. We fumble and we fold whenever a major challenge arises. And it sucks because just 3 weeks ago, I made a whole video saying how, oh, this side is back. Xavi revolutionized Barcelona because it felt like he had. We had proven in a match that we could win despite going up against a great team, conceding great chances, but still outscoring them, winning 3-2 against Kylian Mbappe. That's good. That was great for the side. And then what happened to that? In retrospect, now we didn't create great chances that game. We definitely created some, but like Rafinha's goal with that overhead shot, volley, it was awesome, but it was such a low quality chance because it's so difficult to do consistently that if that's the goal that's saving us, this team does not have the ability to do that consistently. And that is what they've proven more than anything else this season. Yeah, their mentality is bad and everything, but in those chances where they need to have that special quality to push them through, like we have seen from Real Madrid consistently this year and the several years prior to this, and also Bayern Leverkusen this season, we can't. We cannot just push ourselves through that final moment to find it. Against Girona, we were down 2-2 after being up 2-1, and it seems like after that point, we couldn't do anything. But they're just vacant of that creativity, of that excitement going forward, and without Lamine Yamal, the fact that we have to rely on a 16-year-old for so much of that throughout the season is wild. Kudos to Lamine. He is a fantastic player, but it just proves to me that I don't think Rafinha is a guy for this side. He just doesn't have that special ability to be a winger, and he isn't even that profile of winger that Xavi wants on that left side. From everything we've been hearing, he clearly wants a touchline winger who can dribble down the line, take people on one-on-one, put in a good cross, and even, create shooting opportunities for himself. Rafinha is not that guy. He cannot do all of that. He has proven that throughout this season, but, he can score good goals like we have seen. For that reason, he is valuable. I think we can get like 75 million for him. I'll pack him up and ship him. Sorry, Rafinha, you've been good to us, but he's just not that profile that Xavi wants in his setup. If Xavi's the coach next season, Rafinha isn't that. It shouldn't be at the squad anymore. And I think it's as simple as that. We have a lot to be angry about. There's a lot of mess going on in this side right now, and there. I don't know if there's no easy answer to any of it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I constantly try to be positive and try to create excitement around players, and I will continue to do so, I promise. But it's hard to do that when there is literally nothing to talk about. Even the youngsters, these guys could still get injured and then everything could fall apart because they are the cornerstone of this team right now. Not Araujo like I had thought going into the season, not Frankie de Jong. Gavi's not even around right now either. He will be back and everything, so we'll go back to normal. But Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí are two of four of the only guys that I know are staying this summer. Pretty much everyone else could be on the chopping block, and that's very concerning to me. There's no solidity, and no one even trusts Xavi at the club, so who knows who's going to be trusted. Kimmich could come in. He could also not come in because Xavi wants him, but does Laporta want him? And Frankie de Jong's probably leaving, so is Rafinha, but who else can go? Or who else is going to stay? Maybe they all stay. Guys, I spiraled throughout this video just because there is a lot to spiral about. I didn't really add anything, and I'm sorry about that, but I needed to get on here and just talk to you. It was a little bit of a different video, really no story here, just me talking to you about FC Barcelona. Let me know what you think. It's very much so different to my normal videos. If you want to see me do more of this, maybe I can get it into the schedule because it is slightly easier to make than the documentary story things. So, just let me know down below how you were feeling. Also, tell me what are you most upset about FC Barcelona, and also, what do you think could be a good piece of what we have right now that shows some hope for the future? Let me know. But I'll see you guys all in the next one. Hopefully, greener pastures are ahead. Peace.